We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender, and it's all about the young police from Jamaica, seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madness. Moving on to our video. Yeah, so as we continue this journey, you're going to hear about a policeman. Yes, there's another man that added to the mix who wants Vybz Kartel go straight to the departure lounge and Sean Storm. This is a man that knows Waterford by... He can close his eyes and walk through Waterford, and it's... Yes, from every pathway to every street, because he was raised there. I know him personally because we used to station at Maypen Police Station. The first time I met this man is when I'm a senior police officer. It's when he came to Maypen in 1989. And I've stated before, anytime someone mention or call me by my pet name, Chris, or my first name, you know that it's someone that knew me personally from when I was growing up. So when he came to Maypen, I don't have any photograph of Clinton Darling, although we used to work together at Maypen, and that was it. I can tell you some things about him. So yeah, so he's one of them who added to the mix, who's supposed to, along with Charge Badness. Yes, so they have team up. So it's now Charge Badness, Kolo, and Clinton Darling. As you know, that Charge Badness, they had sent down a man the other day to kill Vybz Kartel and the ear tag. They were here with a detective that works at Mecca Club. That's a club that off Constant Spring Road, the same club where they had tried to kill the little artist Joshy. And they were able to take off the ear tag off the vehicle, and that was of the BMW. So now that this man, yes, he has added to the mix. I know him very well, but know him. We work in the same police station, but we weren't friends because their philosophy is totally different from mine. They are more like a gangster, gangster policeman. Almost a gangster, it's a part that you mix law enforcement along with criminality. That's not me. You understand? Although I am from the belly of the beast, and they are not from the belly of the beast, but they want to adapt that kind of lifestyle. So I'm totally different. So we weren't friends. You understand? Just hello, and that's it. But I know that he was a corrupt police officer when I was at Maypen. Yes, even at one point in time, he, along with another policeman named Clarence Beckford, that lived in the United States of America, both of them were arrested and charged for robbery. Yet, robbing people, them coke in a Clarendon and in Lionel Town. But I don't want to believe it, both men end up at CIB. Can you believe it? Yeah, because of Harry Bungles. Harry Bungles, so to get in at them and orbit, you have to be corrupt. Yes. So Clinton Darling is another man that added to the mix. So there are so many people, and you're going to hear about another man that we have learned who hell bent. And we're going to tell you sometime, whether over the weekend or next week, the name of the policeman that they are negotiating with now. I will tell you, the phone is a two-way that they're negotiating with who's supposed to kill Vybz Kartel. And they're I want to tell you, it all depends on where the stage is at the National Stadium. If the stage is at a point where they can stay from a building and able to look down in the stadium, don't be surprised if they even get drawn, because this man is an ex-soldier, ex-police officer, ex-detective, marksman. So they are in talks with him about that. So Muscle that he had to give back charge badness some of the money. Because he had to pay logistics and all kind of thing. I don't know how the criminal them do it. So he wasn't able to succeed in that attempt. So Jungle's Web, a tale of alliance and vengeance. So in the art of concrete jungle, Kingston 12, a Kingston about steep in the history and conflict and name carried weight. Corrigo Barnes, also known as Che, or Charge of Badness, raised amidst the myth, the labyrinth of concrete fences and potholed streets. Corrigo embodied the spirit of his community. His journey from concrete jungle to Gregor Park, from the pulsating chaos of Kingston. And now, from prison. Yes, from prison he was convicted of murder, along with Bakto. You're going to hear something about Bakto too. Yet, complex world of East Orange, New Jersey, was far from conventional. Though thousands of miles separated him from his birthplace, Corrigo's roots that are run deep. His sharp wit, charismatic demeanor, and a penchant for calculated moves earned him respect in both realms. He wasn't just a man of ambition, but also one of strategy, a trait that led him into alliances with men whose path had crossed is in unexpected ways. So so you have in boss now, a guy them say my Rear Admiral Kulo, man, him keep a big show every year in New York. Yeah, Labor Day. Yeah, Kulo. Was a man of stature and mystery. Hailing from Clarendon, Kulo is a countryman, but don't worry about that. Because you remember one time growing up, only people who were from Kingston were violent. Now, everybody violent in Jamaica. Yeah, man, because everybody want to be evil. That's how it is, So Kulo is one of those persons. So, and as a year, you'd say Kulo is a Rear Admiral. So he had climbed up the ranks with reputation for ruthless efficiency. And despite his background, Kulo was deeply entrenched in the underworld politics, understand that control extends beyond oceans and border. Ex-cop Clinton Darling, them call him Cheese, yeah. I don't know why them call him Cheese, because him kind of short, and he made big. And for you listen to him talk, you can know say, the man there, I just real caroused and carabunkers and dirty bunker. May I tell you that straight. So, by contrast, yeah, Darling had a story woven with contradiction, raised in Waterford, just a stone throw from Portland West. Clinton had patrolled the streets he once called home. So, he used to that Clarendon, then Spanish Town, with the mentor Harry Bungles. Nobody will come to Harry Bungles can be a good person. Harry Bungles now have no use honest, decent, ethical police officers. Yeah, peer crook them around them. Yeah, you understand? So, Clinton Darling resignation from the force wasn't just about retirement. It was an escape from the weight of knowledge that could not coexist with his badge. Because the man there, as we tell you, Darling was the kind of police where him a police boy, him a bad man. Mix up in a criminality. That can't work. You can't serve two masters. A man of principle, him have none. Him never have no principle. Who had learned to play in the grey areas. Clinton had secrets that could shake the very foundation of power structure he once upheld. So, Corrigo, that a Charge of Badness Kulo, and Clinton Darling, them form an alliance that seemed almost mythical. Their goals were as a layer as their individual motives. On the surface, it was about justice or revenge, depending on who told the story. The core of their agenda, however, was singular: to dismantle the aura of invincibility surrounding Vybz Kartel, the world boss, and his confidant Sean Storm. Cartel wasn't just an artist, he was a symbol, an enigma, whose influence spilled beyond music into Jamaica's socio-political fabric. For Kartel that had charged badness and his partners, this wasn't a mere vendetta. It was a psychological warfare. The operation was meticulous, involving not just Cartel and Sean Storm, but Cartel's parents, his mother and father. Kulu, with his precision, managed logistic resources. He tapped into his vast network to gather information, keeping the operation airtight. Clinton, leveraging his investigative expertise, pieced together a dossier on Cartel and his family that include financial transaction, movement and connections, everything that he could weaponize. Kartel, the mastermind, was the face of their operation. He understood the value of controlling narratives. From East Orange, he coordinated, some of people remember social media too, and plant stories, and even orchestrate subtle taunts that would reach Cartel behind his grill home. He wanted the royal boss to feel the walls closing in, not just physically, but mentally. Same boy Cartel's parents, once peripheral figures in his saga, became central to the alliance strategy. His mother, known for her staunch defense of her son, and his father, whose quieter support spoke volumes, were targeted in ways that blurred the lines between harassment and psychological manipulation. So the man them say boy Cartel mother fear game and the father. The man send them to the departure now. Guys, since then it's hard to get him because him have 6 ex-police officers around him, dangerous police them. So Kartel that a check group leak rumors that pain Cartel parents in compromising lights. So them say mother is that Waterford and the father. So them scout it out and then decide to before them I send him out to mash him up before Christmas. So whisper accusation of complicities in his alleged crime spread like wildfire, isolating them from their community. Letters reveal threats arrive at their doorstep, message designed to unsettle rather than harm. For Kartel, the strategy was clear: to destabilize Cartel's strongest emotional anchors. So that's why they might go find mother and father, especially because they know so once them lit them, that will shake him up mentally. Because he's responsible for killing so many people. Not only say him have him on the trigger, but behind the scenes. So the once unshakable figure found himself plagued by uncertainty. The letters he received were cryptic, their origin untraceable. So they have been sending things to Vybz Kartel, and him believes the boy is a betrayal, real and imagined, forcing him to question even those closest to him. His call with Sean Storm began tense, each man wondering if the other had been compromised. So outside the world, watch as Cartel once mighty empire show cracks. Music projects delay, endorsement quietly withdraw. The alliances had ensured that the artist's mental fatigue spilled into his public persona. But why did Che, Kulu and Darling go to such lengths? Their reasons were deeply personal. For Che, it was about reclaiming the community's dignity. Cartel glorification of a lifestyle that had torn families apart in Gregory Park, Waterford, was unforgivable. For Kulu, it was strategic, a move to dismantle a figure whose influence extended into his network. For Clinton, it was a penance for a system he had once been a part of, one that allowed figures like Cartel to rise unchecked. Their motive converged on one truth. Cartel was a symbol that needed to be shattered. So as their campaign reached its zenith, the alliance remained in the shadow, their true identity masked by layers of disinformation. Cartel supporters cry foul, accusing unseen forces of targeting their ear. In Concrete Jungle and Waterford, whispers of alliances exist became urban legend. Yet, Che, Kolo and Darling victory wasn't about public recognition. It was just about the slow unraveling of a man who once seemed untouchable. It was about justice, raw, unflinching and delivered from the shadows. So in the dim light of an East Orange basement, Carriego sit with Kolo and Clinton, their face illuminated by the glow of a laptop screen. New article, social media posts, and intercepted communication told the story of the impact. Cartel empire, while not destroyed, was irreparably weakened. Phase 1 is complete, Carriego said, his voice calm but resolute. What about Phase 2, Kolo asked. Carriego leaned back, a faint smiling playing on his lips. We make him live with the consequences. In their world, vengeance wasn't a fleeting act, it was a methodological process. A game of shadows, play with precision and patience. For Carriego, Kolo and Darling, this was just the beginning. So the story of Clinton, so there was a war, war with Clinton Darling and Vybz Kartel. So the story of Clinton Darling, known as Cheese, is one of the layer complexities, a tale of friendship turned cold, loyalty stretched thin, and the relentless pursuit of vengeance. As a former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I first encountered Darling when he arrived at Clarendon Division in 1989, where I was stationed at Maypen. He was a fresh face, eager, and carrying the energy of Waterford St. Catherine. I was sheer community into the ranks of the police force. Though Darling and I share roots, our paths in the force and life diverge. He knew my family in ways that unsettled me, rattling off the names of my siblings, my father, and even my biological mother, as if he had memorized them. He was a man of deep knowledge, the kind that spoke of someone who had been watching from the shadows for years. So yet despite our connection, I never fully let him in my circle. My instinct won over the years of navigating the blur lines of law enforcement in Jamaica, kept me at arm's length. Waterford had bred fair shares of characters, heroes, villains, and those who danced precariously between the two. Among these was my cousin, John Wayne Porter, a notorious figure whose reputation for violence and cunning had earned him the title of Carousing, Corabunkus, and Dirty Bungle. Yeah, John Wayne's shadow loomed large over Waterford, and though Darling had mingled in those circles, I had always chosen to keep my distance. Darling journeying from the streets of Waterford to the ranks of the Jamaica Constabulary Force seemed, at first glance, like an attempt to rise above the chaos. But as the years passed, it became clear that his tenure in the force was more personal than professional. His dedication wasn't to justice, but to settling score, both old and new. And if I'm not lying, I think he had got promotion to Detective Corporal when he was at Central. He used to drive a yellow Living, Toyota Living. So the catalyst, and the man, you can't know, the man, they love the drugs thing, the man, they always say them only for chain and I tell you, I just say, bro, yeah. I know at one time him and Christopher Brother J. Ebert were rolling in New York, but I don't know if them still roll. But Darling is not a man to be tame, you understand? Him not play them way. Whilst Brother J, him have him American papers, when I will comment further about that, Darling no have no papers as yet. Him not legal in our system. You understand? So I just saw it go. So Waterford, Vybz Kartel was both a symbol and a scapegoat. His music painted vivid pictures of realities we all know too well: violence, loyalty, and betrayal. But his influence went beyond lyrics. Cartel's accent ascent from the community to global stardom disrupted the fragile ecosystem of waterfalls on the world. The tipping point for Darling came when Cartel, sensing the tides turning against him, orchestrated a grand exodus for his family. The DJ. So there was a ongoing war between Vybz Kartel, Mikey Pelper, and some other man and Clinton Darling and some other man. It was a four of them a war at one point. It never affect my family, so them know me stay on them thing. Like, I'm in a corrosive business and I wasn't friend with none of them. You understand? So if a man knows say mess with my family, a different thing, I may have the law to deal with. I mean I mix up with corrosion and corrobunkers and dirty bunker. So Darling now relocated every member of his bloodline out of Jamaica, ensuring their safety in the United States. But most notably, yeah man, he settled in New York, far from the reach of men like Vybz Kartel. Even one point him and Mikey Pelper in a war. Wainport and their ilk. So Darling and Kunda now, Sean, that a Sean from my part where them become friends. So boy, I tell him I know them do it. One big war on them thing. So for that, and Darling now buy up a whole heap of M16 from the policeman, the sergeant out by Elliston Road, and some of 16 in a work. Me don't know why a man do them like thing there. The man couldn't even, that's all even me a police, the man couldn't even ask me for gunshot. Boy, you're all police, you buy M16 for kill people for. All them thing there, Darling, them thing they just wrong, man. You know. Look at me. Well, I don't know if I'm old on you and them thing there. Maybe you can't tell me because I know some, yeah, more or less you're good at old on me still, but I don't know why I'm not choose them kind of life there. Where you have to run away and them thing there. I still can't go Waterford see me. I don't say people who have I don't know if no enemy at Waterford unless the people who move come there. You understand what I'm saying? I do pull work over there. In a third world, yeah man, 3 times. You understand what I'm saying? Come on all the news and all them things, but you don't know a different era of policing that. You know, so for Darling, this was an affront. You know. So move out, not only rob him of a sense of control, but also highlight his own limitation. So the world boss had outmaneuver him, ensure that him have to run and know all could befall his loved one. Even Darling had his ally seat in the shadows. So Darling's simmering resentment festered into an obsession. He formed alliances with men who share his disdain for Cartel. Among them, your man Kulo, a calculated and strategic thinker from Clarendon. Kulo get chat already too, you know. Kulo had ties to Waterford darker elements and view Cartel as a destabilizing force that needed to be eradicated. So now with the killing of the 8 people them the other day done by Cherry Tree Lane, that's the thing now where infuriated Kulo fame town that. So him have a meeting on with the man them. So their meeting often took place in secret. Dimly lit basement, nondescript. And you know them have regular, the conversation were raw, tinged with anger and a bitter taste of lost control. Their plan wasn't just to kill Cartel, but to dismantle everything he represents. They wanted to crush his spirit, erase his legacy, and sever his bloodline. Cartel confidant Sean Starr was also a target. As a loyal lieutenant, Sean Starr was seen as an extension of Cartel's influence, a man whose removal would send a clear message to the DJ. But the alliance's vendetta extend further, encompassing Cartel's parents. Darling and his conspirators wanted to make an example of anyone connected to the world boss, ensuring that their names would forever be synonymous with ruin. So in the years since Darling left the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Darling had undergone a metamorphosis. The once eager officer I met in Maypen, Clarendon, had become a man consumed by darkness. His pursuit of Cartel wasn't just about Waterford or old grudges. It was about reclaiming a sense of power he felt had been stolen from him. because I'm a runner from Waterford. Born and grew there, and because of the whole heap of killing and all of them things. What kind of life that? Darling frequently travel to Georgia. So I'm going to look for J, Christopher Ebert. So I know say him down in Georgia, I'm dealing with him in Georgia, I'm dealing with him coke business and drugs and drive truck. So these trips, though cloak in the guise of business, were reconciled missions. He gather intelligence, observe pattern, and build connection with others who share his vendetta. Among these were former police officers, ex-military operators, and remnants of Waterford criminal underworld. Men who had nothing to lose and everything to gain by aligning with Darling. So him have more police now in him corner. Yeah. So them find this policeman. I'm going to tell you him name next week. Yeah. He was a soldier, sharpshooter, marksman, instructor too. I'll tell you him name next week. It hasn't been finalized, but they might try find him. I understand, so they are in communication with him with the money. Yeah, so man say 100, at least he want $150,000 to kill Vybz Kartel. So you're gonna see him just one day him just drop, you just see blood spill, out of him head back, and you don't hear a shot. Because this man, him know what him do. We tell you, soon tell you him name. So Darling war against Cartel wasn't just physical, it was psychological. He and his allies planted seed of doubt and fear, using the DJ's own fame as a weapon. They spread rumors about betrayal within Cartel's camp, fabricated stories about chance and wavering loyalty, even suggest that Cartel's parents were the real mastermind behind his alleged crimes. Cartel, although he was in prison, but he was still influential in Waterford. So letters from unnamed sources found their way into his hands, their cryptic messages designed to unsettle him. Darling's network worked tirelessly to ensure that Cartel fortress of confidence was chipped away one taunt at a time. So we import my cousin, and a figure whose brutally was matched only by his cunning, playing an unspoken role in Darling's crusade. Though Darling and Porter weren't officially aligned, their shared history in Waterford created an unspoken understanding. Darling war against Cartel indirectly avenged Porter's grievance and Porter's reputation act as silent endorsement of Cartel's actions. That was before him then. So the war between Clinton, Darling and Vybz Kartel is far from over. It's a battle fought in the shadows where grudges and alliances blur the line. Justice and vengeance. For Darling, this isn't just about Cartel. It's about reclaiming a sense of control over a world that has long felt chaotic and unpredictable. As I watch from the sidelines, I can't help but reflect on the choices that brought us here. Darling was once my junior, and I thought I knew him. But in the labyrinth of Waterford where loyalty and betrayal walk, hand in hand, even the closest bond can fray. And as Cartel's story continues to unfold, so too does the legacy of Clinton Darling, a man driven by war, and he cannot afford to lose. So the origins of a feud, Clinton Darling, Vybz Kartel, and the Lynchman era. To understand the war between Clinton Darling and Vybz Kartel, one must go back to the streets of Waterford St. Catherine, a community that bred legends, villains, and those who couldn't be neatly categorized. It was a time when names like Mikey Pelper, Lynch dominated whispered conversation in dark corners and among the young men idolizing their violent exploits. The Lynchman crew wasn't just a gang, it was a symbol of power, fear, and control in Jamaica, teetering on the edge of chaos. Mikey Pelper Lynch, its enigmatic leader, ruled the streets with a mix of calculated ruthlessness and magnetic charisma. For Clinton Darling, a young man from Waterford, who would later join the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Lynch represented everything wrong with his community, a man who thrived on the suffering and submission of others. But for Vybz Kartel, the DJ would one day become the world boss, Lynch was a product of the same environment that shaped him, a figure to be respected and feared. The Lynch mob crew carved its legacy through a series of high-profile crimes that made headlines and cemented its members as urban legends. Lynch himself was the embodiment of street justice, a man whose word was law in Waterford and beyond. His crew operated with military precision, targeting rivals and silencing dissent. Clinton Darling, then a young boy, navigating the dangerous waters of Waterford, saw firsthand, the destruction Lynch and his men left in their wake. His family, like many others, live under the shadow and the reign of Lynch mob and others in a Waterford. Even then, Darling harbor a deep resentment for men like Vybz Cartel. Lynch dictated life in his community. So as Darling grew older, his resolve to stand against men like Lynch only strengthened. And it wasn't just a career move, it was a statement. He wanted to fight the very forces that terrorized his childhood. So Vybz Cartel, when he was growing up, we soon tell you that them used to beat him up in a wimpy, and man, they used to kick him up, and he was a beating stick. And I tell you, say, make him get wicked. So for Vybz Cartel, the Lynch mob crew wasn't just a gang, it was a representation of survival. Growing up in Waterford meant leaning to navigate alliances and rivalries early. Lynch influence stretched far and wide, and Cartel ascension in music coincided with the height of the Lynch mob's power. While Cartel wasn't a direct member, his lyrics often reflect the reality of that world, painted vivid pictures of life on the street where Lynch mob was the central figure. So them get together, them have all create a movie with cutting down the wall of them night. And Cartel music, he used to big up Lynch at night because Lynch has spent money. But it was acknowledged, it was weaving tales of power and betrayal that resonated with young Jamaicans. To Darling, however, this wasn't art, it was perpetuating a cycle of violence. Cartel, meteoric rising dancehall scene gave voice to chaos. Darling had sworn to fight. So the eventual downfall of Mikey Pelpe Lynch marked a turning point in Waterford and its player. Lynch death in a dramatic him drowned in a Florida year. I try to come in a Allendale Beach and have 30 pounds of weed. Him can't swim, I don't know how him drowned, but I just saw it, them say a cartel over him. I don't know how people, I understand. When him drowned, it sent shockwave through the community. His device left a power vacuum and the street became a battleground for those who seeking to fill it. For Darling, Lynch death was both a victory and bitter reminder of the toll such battle took on the community. Darling, as a former officer of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, he had worked tirelessly to dismantle the crew. Like Lynch man, but the scars of Lynch reign ran deep. And Darling's mission was far from over. Cartel, on the other hand, was ascending to new heights. His lyrics began to shift, reflecting not just the struggle of the street, but also his own journey to becoming a cultural icon. For Darling, Cartel's success was a double-edged sword. While Cartel represented the resilience of Waterford, he also carried the legacy of men like Lynch, a legacy Darling wanted to erase. So the Lynchman legacy live on. Though the Lynch mob crew disbanded after Mikey Pelpe's death, its influence linger. Many of Lynch former associates formed new alliances, while others, them sought revenge for the Lynch that Vybz Cartel, the first one, Kurt Lynch that Vybz Cartel sent men from Klansman to kill. And we tell you about that. So many of yes. So Waterford remained an hotbed of violence, and Darling found himself at the center of it all. I can tell you, when I was there, Waterford wasn't violent at all. That's why I tell you, as my father said, at the jungle, move come a Waterford in 1986. No, not live in Waterford. Where we family them, some poets, some Wayne when I see, we have a brother in the police, Mark, I not see no one to him and him thing, because I never see him, I not see him. Because none of them never really work with me. Only somebody ever worked with me as police was my brother. Me and him did that Hunsby, and you understand? My detective. Yeah, so a voice that gave exploit legitimacy. Others view Cartel as an outsider who had exploited their role of fame. So this tension created an undercurrent conflict that would explode into full-blown war. Cartel versus Darling feud intensify. By the time Darling left the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the resentment for Cartel had become deeply personal. The man come out foreign, and guess what? Darling, we make some money now. I kill a drugs man in him sleep and rob the man. And make a back. Hey, what them do it? I don't remember the guy name. Him come from Rima. And that's one of the reasons why them did kill him son. One son there. Him son did them did kill one of the Darling have a son. He was the only one left at Jamaica. And they killed him because Darling had killed a man from Rima that he was bodyguarding, a drug dealer. Kill the man in him sleep and rob him. And I saw him did buy a whole heap of house and all of them things there. But I don't know how them do it now. That's why I mean I like criminal and them things there. Yeah. You know, so Darling, this was an insult for him. A man who had profited from chaos of Waterford, now running from the consequences. In his post-police life, Darling formed alliances with men like-minded individuals, men like Kulo and Che, that are charged of badness, who share the disdain for Cartel's influence, and other former law enforcement. So Christopher Brother G added to the mix. Military operatives became his ally. Together they orchestrated a campaign not just to discredit Cartel, but to dismantle his entire legacy. So their effort targets the Cartel's family, his closest allies like Sean Storm, and even his late mentor Mikey Pelper Lynch memory. Darling wanted Cartel to feel the weight of his past, a reckoning for chaos he believed the DJ had perpetuated. So the war between Cartel and Clinton Darling is more than a personal vendetta. It's a clash of ideology, rooted in the history of Waterford and the legacy of the Lynch mob crew. For Darling, this is a battle to reclaim his community from the shadows of its past. For Cartel, it's a fight to protect the empire he built and the family he has worked so hard to shield. He met a moving mother and father from Waterford. You understand? So as the feud rages on, one thing is clear. The ghosts of Mikey Pelper Lynch and the Lynch mob crew continue to haunt Waterford, shaping the destinies of those who remain locked in their shadows. The battle between Darling and Cartel is not just about two men, it's a reflection of a community struggle to reconcile with its past and find a new path forward. Them are send him straight to the departure line. Yeah, Clinton Darling are one cool, calculated robber and murderous policeman. Yeah, man, because as I said before and I say again, although I seen a police in the man, I never compare myself with people. I never grudge people for them have. But, you know, the man there alone, the man in a police, the man kind of remind you of Gilroy. Yeah, pussy. You know, the criminal police, you know what I'm saying? Just like Harry Bungles. I don't know how them feel cool about that. They know, you know. And I like a Meverell Smith and all them man. But Meverell Smith, different thing, because why them man just love the criminality. But only thing we can tell the Vybz Cartel, you better move your mother from Waterford and your father. Because 2 times, when Sean Stan was at Waterford the other day, him just visit by, yeah, Lebanese better watch the guy, man, them know him and try him walk with that limp there. Yeah, so it's, as we say, and we are said publicly, bright light, yeah, we are say to Darling too, and because we don't know about bright light and them thing, but you know, we don't say Cartel a friend and him do things to Cartel. And we don't say, but remember say the twin when him have a Waterford, The twin them innocent. No kill the twin them, man. No kill them twin them. Don't kill bright light twin them. Because the youth them not do nobody nothing. Them innocent to everything. Bright light and Cartel a friend if you don't want to do him something or phone a thing. But the trouble is youth, the baby them. The little youth them that. Yeah, so have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica, Young Police Channel, out.